Jenni Minto, to be followed by Brian Whittle. Up to 4 minutes, Ms Minto.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. It is a privilege to speak in the Stage 3 debate on our Good Food Nation Bill. I too would like to thank the work of my fellow committee colleagues and clerks and witnesses, and I'd also like to wish the Cabinet Secretary a speedy recovery. I want to focus in my contribution on the difference that this bill, the positive difference this bill will make to Scotland. Last week I was proud to join the pupils, teachers, staff and their partners at Dunoon Grammar School, where it was announced that the school had been shortlisted for the Community Collaboration Award and the World's Best Schools Prize. During COVID, Dunoon Grammar School, like others across Argyll and Bute and Scotland, recognised that being at the heart of their community meant they could pivot their resources to ensure an appropriate community food response, which was wider than free school meals. They embraced the community food process, worked with the local supply chain and local producers. The school illustrated what can be done by getting out there and doing it, working sustainably, making whole families healthier and bringing communities closer. As the World's Best Schools website says, creating a ripple of change that spreads from schools to society, making both stronger. This is exactly what our Good Food Nation Bill will do by providing an overarching framework for a clear, consistent and coherent future Scottish food policy. A fresh approach which seeks to embed food within the wider landscape of public policy. In the Stage 1 debate in this chamber, I talked about how one of my own staff recalled the lunches he and friends enjoyed when Dunoon Grammar School provided food that was both nutritious and delicious. He also reflected on how these meals were especially important to youngsters from disadvantaged backgrounds. The saying goes, you are what you eat, but increasingly for many families, you are only what you can afford to eat. This bill will go some way to offset Westminster's cruel attack on families, and in particular children. During Stage 2, amendments were agreed, including the addition of a new set of principles which Scottish ministers and relevant authorities must have regard in preparing national food plans. These principles acknowledge the systematic nature of the food system and supply chain, the role of sustainable food production in mitigating climate change, reversing biodiversity loss and improving animal welfare, the importance of adequate and appropriate food for physical and mental well-being, that adequate food is a human right, and the importance of the food business sector in Scotland, all improving the bill. I think it's fair to say that the area where there's been most debate was on oversight of the bill. I am very pleased that, following careful consideration and discussions with members across the Chamber and organisations out with, including the Scottish Food Coalition, the Cabinet Secretary has decided that a statutory food commission will be established, and this strengthens further our Good Food Nation Bill. Presiding Officer, on Monday I met with Jane Jones from Argyll and Bute Council, who provided the committee with compelling evidence in support of the bill. Jane is passionate about food and making sure Argyll and Bute gets its food strategy right. From the local butcher on Islay providing meat for the island schools, which Mary Brennan also visited, to producing, with Assist FM, the first ever Scottish school meals recipe book. I'm just about finished, thank you. She believes the bill will ensure that appropriate food plans can be developed for Argyll and Bute and throughout Scotland that recognise the local needs from early years learning through to care homes and the strengths of local supply chains and local producers, and that the establishment of the Scottish Food Commission will pull everyone involved in food in Scotland together, provide the strategic oversight and ensure that all partners are engaging across Scotland. So to conclude, the expression oven ready has justifiably fallen out of favour. Thanks to Brexit, we know that oven ready really means half-baked. However, I believe that Scotland's Good Food Nation Bill is fully baked, nutritious and wholesome, and I urge you to support it today.
Thank you very much, Ms Minto.